Hello friends, my name is Sonia. This is Sonia with an I, and today we're doing a May pile of possibilities. This is not a TBR. This will not all get read. This was me going around trying to find all the green that I could so I would be able to gain some points for the Mystery and Mayhem Readathon. If you aren't sure or you don't know what the Mystery and Mayhem Readathon is, I will link my announcement video in the description box, but I am part of the sleuths team, and the sleuths are trying to gain as many points as they possibly can by reading books that have green on the cover or nature of some sort on the cover, which is pretty easy for me because, you know, I like my cozy nature, but I do have a pile, and I thought, well, I'll just share them with you. This also does not mean that I will not search the library or do any sort of audiobook or any sort of ebook. This is just what I have in my house that meets the criteria. So let's go through some books. The very first that I have is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. I have read this before, but I'm talking eons ago. So I thought that maybe this would be a good little reread if I happen to be in the mood. As many of you know, or if you're new here, hi, I'm a mood reader. Whatever mood hits me, that's the mood I'm going to read in. So TBRs are hard for me. I struggle with them because I don't know what mood I'm going to be in tomorrow or the next day, or what kind of reading is going to be my jam. So that's why this is a big pile. The next book I have is Stardust by Neil Gaiman. This to me has at least 50% green on it, and it's a beloved fairy tale for grown-ups. This book, Ain't She a Peach by Molly Harper. There's green on the back and the front. It's a Southern charm book, a Southern eclectic novel. Okay. Charlie Owls is Not a Teacher. This is by Katie Segal, and it's mostly green. I believe this is it says a not detective story. So it is not a detective story. We have The Forgotten Garden by Kate Morton. The letters are green. There's some green on the back, and this is kind of an olivey green, but there's a lot of nature here. So I've really been wanting to read this. I thought I'd put that out there. My books are about to topple over. These are some poetry books. The books have to be 150 pages or 2. So I would count this as one book, but they are both green. They're both poetry books. All Graced in Green by Scott King and Green Reaching by Nancy Pettick, if I'm in the mood for reading poetry. I have been wanting to read this for so long, and I don't know why I have not read it yet. But it is Paul and the Family by Don Eastman. And look at that, you baby. It's a Shih Tzu. Him's cute. I have a god dog who's a Shih Tzu. His name is Jack, and he's adorable. But I will be, it says first in the new series, A Family Fortune Mystery. I have never ever heard anyone talk about this book. So that makes me think that maybe there's only a couple and it didn't continue, but this house is everything. This vibe, it's giving me like Addams Family. Yes, and it has a Shih Tzu on it. Many of them. Let's not knock anything over here. There we go. Sorry. Mossflower by Brian Jakes. I always say that wrong, but it is Jakes. I read Redwall, and I thought, well, I can continue with this series. I have 2-in-1 books here. This is Nora Loft's Gadd's Hall and The Haunting of Gadd's Hall. It's 2 novels of the supernatural. I'll just see how long this is, because I'll have to see how many pages, but I thought if I decided to read one story, you know. I have this vintage book, These Lovers Fled Away by Howard Spring. There's a lot of green on this, a lot of nature. Thought that would suffice. Murderous Mayhem at Honeychurch Hall by Hannah Dennison. This is the most beautiful springtime cover. I just love it. I mean, minus the skull. That's not real springtime looking, but Never Dies the Dream. This is by Margaret Landon. She's so cute with her face on the back, but I feel like this is primarily green. It's one of my vintage books I've been wanting to read. Out to Pasture, but Not Over the Hill by Effie Leland Wilder. I just thought this looked so cute. I have to check the page count. Yeah, it has the page count. But I was mostly in green. This is a lot of nature on the cover, and all of it's only green and pink. So, but this is Lead in the Mist by Hope Mirrlees. I've been wanting to read this forever. This gives me an excuse to do so. I have Fragile Things by Neil Gaiman. This is Short Fictions and Wonders, so I would read the whole book before I would count it a book, since it's like a bind up of different stories. I'm kind of in a Neil Gaiman trip here. We also have American Gods by Neil Gaiman. And like I said, a lot of Neil Gaiman. Also have Trigger Warnings by Neil Gaiman. Apparently, I found some Neil Gaiman books. Only thing I've ever read by Neil Gaiman is Coraline, so we'll see. I have A Perilous Pal by Laura Bradford. I really enjoyed this book, the first book in this series, so I want to continue with book 2. Voice After Dark, Claire Lorimer, I will get that right. Claire Lorimer. I love her face. She's like, ooh. I have Green Fingers Farm. Green is even in the name. This is by Joyce Dingwell. This is a vintage Harlequin. I also have The Moon for Lavinia by Betty Niels. Heard a lot about Betty Niels. It is green as well. I have An Owl Too Many by Charlotte McLeod. Lots of green. A Peter Shandy mystery. This is an older cozy mystery. Then I have The White Heart by Nancy Springer. This is a part of the Isle series. This is the first one. I do love me a dragon. Then I have The Truth About Stacy. This is the third book in the Babysitter's Club. I need to read this, and this is green. I have The Green Gates Mystery. This is by Constance Ferguson. So this is one of the vintage books I found, but I was very curious. Then I also have Rainbow on the Road by Esther Forbes. This was another one of the vintage books that I picked up. Lots of green, lots of nature. This I got from the library. This is a series that I have been reading for about 5 years. I really like it. It's the Patchwork Quilt Mysteries. This is Secret in the Stitches, the Patchwork Mysteries. And, yep. And I borrowed this from the library. And When the Crow's Away by Arlie Wallace. I actually read the first one and really loved it, so I'm going to continue with the series. It's only 2, so this is the last. Then I also have The Long Way to a Small and Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. I love Becky Chambers. I adore Becky Chambers' Monk and the Robot series, which is also green and full of nature if you are a sleuth, and it is a host favorite. But I wanted to pick this up. It's part of the Wayfarer series. It's the #1. Great excuse to read it because it's green. Then How the Rabbit Took a Ride by M. Grant Cormack. This couldn't be many greener. Pilgrim's Inn by Elizabeth Gooch, I think is how you say that. I picked this up at the used bookstore. Now, what did you think of that big pile of possibilities? Yeah, I really stacked it on. There's quite a bit. I mean, it's like hip high, but my goal was to have plenty of books to choose from all genres, so I didn't get burned out, and to be able to earn as many points possible for my team. So are you participating in the Mystery and Mayhem Readathon? It is for the month of May, and as I said, I will put a link to not only my video, kind of announcing the readathon, but also to Maddie's at This Bookish Cottage. I'll put hers in there as well, so you can kind of see what it's all about if you aren't familiar or don't know if you want to participate. If you are participating, I do hope you're a sleuth and joining my friend Amy Marie, and Sam from A Spark of Sam. We're going to do our best to earn as many points as we can and save the booktubers. Thank you so much for watching today. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. I hope that your days are cozy, your nights are comfy, and your heart is full of joy. You make the world a better place just by being a part of it. And until next time, I'll see you. Happy reading.